I'm going to get started in a minute, but I just actually, what I'll do is I'll just give you the reason why I actually thought this was a really good topic. I get to see lots of business owners, and especially ones that are, are starting up a business. Actually, even the ones that are actually established businesses, I always ask them especially when I'm looking at budgets, I'm like, okay, so what are your earnings going to be, and what do we need to put you on as a salary, or otherwise are you, what are you earning? What are you going to be living on? And the amount of times that I get the answer of I actually don't know, it surprises me. It really does. I'm like, what are you going to live on thin air or rice and milk the whole year, or and it actually throws a lot of questions around people's personal budgets, of course. I think a good starting point is actually understanding what you need to live as far as your family household budget goes, and how much you need to pay off the mortgages, school fees, and all of that stuff. That's a really good starting point to understand what you need to earn for the year, because I'm asking you, what are you going to be earning for the year, and being proactive. But yeah, most people, I'm not really sure what they need to earn, what they absolutely need to earn to keep the roof over their head, for instance, and to feed the children. So anyway, so let's get started. I hope you do enjoy the session, and I hope you do get a few things out of today. So let's get on with know what you're earning, for the year, and let's be proactive about it. So today's takeaways is how to work out what you will be earning, set yourself a budget to achieve the desired salary. I'm talking about a business budget, not a personal budget here, and making some informed decisions so that you are not working for your employees. Because the amount of times I see that, and I do ask the hard question, why are you working in the business when you've got employees that are actually earning well beyond what you're earning? So why are you doing this? Or is there a future plan in place? So you're looking at your own salary as an investment in the business. So let's get started. Before we go into how we do this, I just wanted to differentiate the two of understanding how you take your wages. Because there are several ways wages are paid depending on the type of entity you're trading as. For instance, when you're trading as a sole trader, 100% of the profits are considered as your wages, the total taxable income. So, because people start getting quite confused about taking a pay slip out of a sole trader. Of course you can, and it means that you're being proactive about paying super and taxes when you formally take a pay slip or a pay under a sole trader. But still, when you do that, note that the 100% of the profits is still your wages. It's basically just setting disciplines under a sole trader. Then the other way is a proprietary limited. There are two ways you can receive a wage under this type of entity, and that is as an employee. Remember, a proprietary limited is like a third person. You are not that third person as well. So take out any a wage, and also the other way is to take out dividends if you're a profitable and you've got retained earnings in the company. So they're the two ways. I try to keep this simple, so I hope I am. So let me just quickly go over again what is a sole trader. So I've given you an example here where this particular P&L is a sole trader. You can see there I've got wages and salaries being pulled out for July, which is 13,400. Now, That could be for yourself, or it could be for you've got employees, because there are many sole trading businesses that actually also pay employees. As you'll see, the net result, the net profit for those 2 months is 7,200. So the net profit is considered as your wages. That total 7,200 is your taxable income. Now, if you go back to July and you see that 13,400 number and you've taken it out as a salary, just so you can see a bit of a reality check on your expenses, it means then that 13,400 plus the 7,200 is your taxable income. Okay. I hope I'm not confusing anybody here. Let's just go and share how you would take wages as a company. So as here, you'll see the 13,400, you've been treated as an employee, which means then you will have PAYG that's been taken out for you, and you'll have paid super on that. Very, very different, because that 7,200 is not part of your wages in this instance. That is the company profit. The company will pay tax on the 7,200. So all it is here is the 13,400 in wages and salary as a company. That is your wages. Then dividends. If you've got retained earnings in the business, and you've got retained earnings, then you can take dividends. Now, of course, if you're not profitable, you can't take dividends. Simple as that, which means it's only the 13,400. Okay. Now, when you're taking dividends, of course, we don't tend to look after that. We only do the day-to-day. So we will be looking after your wages and salaries if we're doing the bookkeeping, and then the accountant then looks after when he does the year-end accounts, the tax return for the company, he will tell you what the retained earnings are, which then he will be able to explain what dividends can be taken out. Okay. Now, the next slide is the really key slide that we need to go over thoroughly. This is the one piece that we need to get right and be proactive around how you're planning for this. Firstly, if you do a household budget and you know what you actually need to earn, say, for instance, it's $10,000 net in the hand that you need to pay for all the necessary things that you have at home, then you would be asking your bookkeeper, gross that up. So what is it? What do you end up as a salary if you need 10,000 in the hand? That could be around about maybe $14,000 gross a month that you need to earn. 14,000 on a $10,000 net. So, oh, absolutely, Kylie. I'm happy to share these slides afterwards because it demonstrates some things that you could probably take away and write some notes on. So absolutely happy to do that. So when you've got your household budget, then let's put it into the business budget. So in here, for instance, we've got, and by the way, guys, if you use Xero, I love this report, because what it does is you can put your budgets in, and then at the end of every month, when you've closed off, you can have your running actuals for the previous months, and actually add your actuals to your forecasted budgets. So you can actually monitor and see that you're actually on track. This is one of my go-to reports. Absolutely love it. So as you will see here, you've got the budgets of $14,000 here in wages. And as you can see in October, it'll give me a net profit of $425 for the month. Now, in order to achieve that, we must close $20,000 in sales in this example, for instance, because you've got a total of expenses. I've hidden some lines here because otherwise this page would be like massive. So literally I've got $5,575 because you'll see total expenses in October of $19,575. I've just hidden some lines in there, which is, you know, like your rent and all these other bits and bobs that you have to operate. So we know that to open the door and for you to earn $14,000 a month in wages and salaries, we must generate $20,000 in sales. So this is what I call working backwards. So if you know what you need as wages and salaries, you know what your general expenses are going to be, and in this example, $19,500. And to have a little bit of profit in the business, we need to generate $20,000 in sales. Simple as that. If you then can focus on, because normally the business owner is the key person to generate sales, unless you've got a fabulous sales team. But even then, if you've got a fabulous sales team, you'll be giving them these budgets to be able to walk away and go, right, I need to generate $20,000 in sales, because it does mean then if you at the end of the year, if I'm on track, I'm going to be earning this much in salary, $14,000 a month gross salary, which gives me $10,000 in net profit, net wages. Wouldn't that be a nice headspace to be in? So that's why I'm saying it's all in the planning. If you've got all the facts, and you'll be able to work out what your sales figure needs to be, that's where your focus is for the rest of the month. Your focus is there for 20,000 I need, because I know that I can take 10,000 net in wages, and I know that I'm living comfortably on that. The amount of people that do it the other way around, I can't even tell you. So basically, a lot of the time I will see people just generating sales with no sales target or an informed sales target. And they'll go, oh, I'll just take out whatever's left over as being my salary. Or I'm going to wait till the end of the year to work out what I'm going to take as salary. Or even worse, they will just trade and say, oh, well, I need approximately $1,000 a week. I'm just going to take that out of the business, and then I'll calculate it, at the end of the year. Oh my God, that is just being so reactive, really. So much better if we can do it the other way and know your sales target. Now, the beauty of this particular document is you can see whether you're on track. So if you look at my example here in September, we didn't generate $20,000 in sales. And what did we end up with? Almost $4,000 loss for the month, right? And so this is where you would go, right, well, I actually can't take my 14,000 gross out because I'm like, look where I'm at. Impossible. But in saying this, if you can look at that on an overall spread over the year, and you think you can maintain your $20,000 in sale, and it was a shipment delay, for instance, you know that you're actually going to be doing $30,000 in sales in October because 10,000 of your sales in September are delayed. Well, then it'll all work out. I hope you can see how important it is to plan out your year, and how important it is to keep yourself on track on a monthly basis. To already go into a month, in this example, to know that, you know what, I'm a little bit behind in my sales from July to September. I'm approximately about 20,000 behind in total sales. So I need to generate 40,000 in sales in October. And we can achieve that because my shipment was late. I can get back on track to be earning $14,000 a month and be profitable. How important is that? The other thing is also is, and this happens in many, many businesses, because you need to season your budgets out. Otherwise, you know, you're up for some shocking months, especially in retail. Retail is, you know, in January, you've got the sales. Like in December, you're doing double, triple your sales number, and then it just falls off the cliff in January unless you can maintain your seasonal sales. But in actual fact, I'll just give you a quick example. I had a client where it was reactive and there was no planning. So because it was a seasonal business, there'll be months where we'd have profit and there'd be months where it was in the red, big time, massive losses. But overall, it was profitable. But we all hate seeing red numbers. Red numbers being you've made a loss for the month. Hate that. Absolutely hate that. But if it's planned and you can see it coming, then it's no big deal, right? So for instance, you know, your retail business, you do quadruple the business in December and you've seasoned the sales, meaning that in this budget, I could say December is going to be $40,000. January is a big fat zero. So when you get to January, of course, it's already forecast that you're going to make a loss. So there's no surprises. But you know that in December, you need to reach that 40,000 in sales to know that you can weather the storm in the January nil sales. Really important, guys, you season your sales, because then there's no surprises, and the amount of anxiety that goes on because of you've made a loss for the month because it wasn't forecasted and it wasn't planned. Okay, so I've got 3 easy actions here. Check that your wages are part of your current profit and loss. Make sure that you're being reasonable with putting a salary for yourself. Check that the business is profitable once you've taken out the desired salary, and if not, adjust your budgets or targets. I'm talking about your sales targets and budgets, and be realistic around it. Don't be saying my desired salary is 300,000 and the business cannot sustain that. It might be that you will eventually get to 300,000 annualized, but not today. But work it, plan for it. And review your actual versus budgets, and your budgets every month to stay on track. If you're close to your numbers every month, there is no anxiety around this. And you know what? It means then you can pat yourself on the back and go, I did it. Small wins are great. Small wins are super. So and it's quite, I always think it's quite exciting to actually know what you're going in with at the end of the month and then finish on a high. Has anybody got any questions out there in regards to this? I am very happy to share these slides, and also there will be a recording to go over this. And of course, as I say always in my webinars, I'm happy to take it offline if you just need some guidance around your business, specifically around how you manage this. Guys, I cannot stress, as a business owner, this is really, really important to do. Stop working for your employees. Stop the anxiety. Know what you're planning and know what your actual sales targets are. Really important. Okay, so I like to keep them only half an hour, really strict. And I don't know if you are aware, but I have changed them to 12:30 only because it's a perfect time when you guys are having lunch. But the next session, which is on Tuesday, the 25th of October, is what's the difference between an accountant and bookkeeper, and why should you use both? Really important, guys. The amount of confusion between what an accountant does and what we do as a bookkeeper, it is quite confusing. I'd like to just lay it down straight so then everyone realizes, but also how many compliance date a bookkeeper actually has to comply with throughout the year. It's quite a lot. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys on the 25th of October for 12:30. Keep an eye out on the registrations and look forward to seeing you guys then. Thanks, guys, and enjoy the rest of the day.